Mr. Brown,
Yes.
congratulations. Thanks for coming in. You got the initial call. We do have your cover letter here that kind of outlines all of the detail that you put in there, but interviewing for the business communications manager role here with the Houston Astros. How'd you hear about the job?
I was doing my research online with jobs through the Astros organization because I'm a huge fan of the team and I wanted to learn how the organization runs. And of all the opportunities available, I figured that this was the best fit for me.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, again, that was all included there with the background that you provided us. But so what was your most recent job and some of the responsibilities that you had there?
Well, my most recent job was I was a bather at a dog groomer.
Understandable, being this the first career out of college.
It was interesting. I had to obviously bathe the dogs, but before you bathe them, you had to brush them out and keep them from running away, which was pretty interesting. Bathe them, dry them, get them ready to be groomed, and just overall dealing with the dogs and the customers that drop them off. I also had to clean the facility. We cleaned daily after all the dogs were finished and washed the towels and everything, and then I think like twice monthly we would do a deep clean of the facility. We would remove everything and do a real thorough clean.
So based on kind of some of the things that you did there, and I know you mentioned a little bit interaction with some of the customer base, how do you think that those responsibilities will apply to a transition into a role like this?
Well, I had to communicate with the customers a lot and let them know what was being done, and then presenting them with the dog or cat whenever they were finished. So I feel like I was able to communicate very well with customers. But also I've just been learning a lot through education about communication with others, and I mean, I just kind of feel like it's helped me.
So
this role.
What would you say then from from the motivational side? What is it that kind of makes you tick, or what is it that motivates you or helps you to motivate people that are around you?
I like to do the best I can on anything that I'm assigned. I've always kind of been taught to do the best that I can with everything, no matter what it is. Whether it was when I was growing up, weed eating our ditch, it was always give your 100%. Don't do a half job. So that motivates me. And then being an upbeat person in the workplace, and maybe if I was in a managerial position, it would be giving correct incentives for others to be motivated to do the best that they can as well and apply themselves 100%.
So from this, clearly this is not where everything ends for you, but so what are your career aspirations? What is this a stepping stone towards?
At some point in my life, I would like to own my own business. I'm not 100% on what it is yet, but something out there, and I feel that this step is important in learning how to communicate a business to the public and to create a public image for a business. So, eventually I would like to be able to do that for my own business.
Awesome. Which is definitely something that we would be interested in, having someone come into our organization with that outset, right? Someone who's going to use this as an opportunity to educate themselves, better themselves in the organization in order to make themselves successful down the road. So I really do appreciate your time. Do you have any questions for me? Is there anything?
I mean, obviously I'm disabled, so I just want to know the kind of accommodations that are made.
So for our particular facility, of course, and in any environment that would be necessary for you to travel into, arrangements would be made for any type of accommodations that you would need. So you shouldn't worry about that by any means, right? At the end of the day, someone who can translate a lot of our vision, a lot of our approach, and they can motivate individuals is what I'm looking for, what the organization's looking for, and we will make arrangements to accommodate anything else outside of that.
All right. That sounds great.
Anything else?
That's it.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you for your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And we'll be in touch.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, Mr. Wright.
How's it going? Morning.
Pretty good. So, I understand that you're interested in the regional regional sales manager position here for us here at Sterlex.
Absolutely.
First question is, how did you hear about this job?
So, past experience-wise, I spent some time with an organization that manufactured flavors, and throughout my tenure there, we actually utilized a lot of the Sterlex products in our facility for sanitation. And so I was familiar enough with the brand, and after my time at IFF, when I departed there and we relocated back to Houston, a recruiter actually had reached out to me on behalf of Sterlex because of the background and the interaction I had with her as a hiring manager where I was at before. So kind of in a roundabout way, I had worked with her, I had worked with the company itself on the end user part, and she circled back around and reached out to me and kind of got the ball rolling as far as communication there.
Okay. And obviously your most recent job you said was at IFF.
Correct.
And what kind of responsibilities did you have there?
So I was the operations manager there at the facility, so pretty much everything except for quality control and shipping and receiving. But as far as from the start of manufacture to post-packaging and then out of the facility, we ran a 3-shift organization, 24/7, 365, and I was in charge of all of the manufacturing and the operational base, including maintenance functions of the plant. So hiring and, backfilling positions as far as personnel is concerned, managing day-to-day operations, and then also managing the success and or if we were to get off track, the corrective actions for any issues that might occur within the plant.
All right. How do you feel that those responsibilities that you just stated would transfer to this job and benefit us?
I would assume that again, the management of any particular group or particular region of sales is all dictated on if there's hiccups along the way, if there's the managing of not only the day-to-day things but also setting your sights on something at a distance and then managing, making small changes, small interactions, small corrective actions along the way in order to get to whatever that end goal is. So I would say having the experience of not only food manufacturing, which is primarily where you guys strive as a company, but not only having that background, but also managing the small little ins and outs of every day, as well as long-term goals, long-term strategies in that organization would definitely be successful, reflected in the type of business that you guys do.
All right. What motivates you in your career, and how can you help motivate others?
I would say the biggest motivator for me is that feeling of self-success, right? That you when you work really really hard at a difficult task for a period of time, and then finally there's a success, or in some cases, even if there's a failure, the learning experience from that and that payoff, that it's like a self-gratification kind of thing, but you put in the time and effort in order to achieve it. Mm-hmm. And as far as motivating others, I would say tie them back to what it is that makes your organization successful. So if there's a success or there's a failure that you experience as a team, where do they fall in line with that? Like, what role did they play in that? And I know it sounds crazy even in a failure, but if they are a type of individual that's looking to be motivated, that is worth cultivating, then they're by far going to understand the learning principles and being tied back to that failure, and what we got out of it is still extremely important. So just tying them back to the overall large, making them feel like they are showing them, I guess, the piece that they play in the larger puzzle.
I like that. And lastly, what are your career aspirations? Like, what do you want to do?
I would say overall, I would really love the opportunity to clearly, as most people, advance to the next level as far as maybe a director or potentially a VP as far as the business is concerned, managing a group of individuals currently in this particular role or satisfying the need of the company in this way. So progression upwards as far as managing a team or being on the director and development side.
All right, well, I think I've got all I need here. Are there any questions that you have for us?
I would, some of the basic questions, I know that we normally get this out of the way with the recruitment team, but like, what is the timeline, I guess, that you would say for backfilling the role?
I I'm not really sure.
Okay. Well, great. Yeah, I just like to have a little bit of feedback.
Hopefully, it wouldn't be too long.
Okay.
Hopefully, we can take care of that right away or as soon as possible. But there's no set in stone
Timeline, like a drop off.
timeline. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, other than that, I mean, if there's anything that you would need from me in the meantime, I would hope that you would kind of reach out to me so that I could get you guys whatever it is that you needed.
Oh yeah. We will review your application and be giving you a call shortly.
Awesome.
So.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming in.
Have a good one.